Every parent dreams of the special bond their children will share, but for Jenny Long's sons, Connor and Cayden, this connection would be challenging. So Connor decided to take matters into his own hands, and what he did next is extraordinary. Take a look.
When Connor was born, I was 19 years old, and I found out I was pregnant with Cayden. I visualized them being best buddies. Cayden was around 2 months old when he was diagnosed with spastic cerebral palsy. The neurologist told us that he would be pretty much dependent on us for everything. I started grieving that normalcy of what I thought I was going to have.
I felt like sad because I couldn't play with Cayden the way I wanted to. Every time I went to play with my friends, I'd be like, oh man, I wish Cayden could do this too.
Watching my boys not be able to communicate with one another, it hurt.
I wanted a way to bond with Cayden, so I was kind of looking for things to do.
I was flipping through, it's a Nashville Parent magazine, and it showed Nashville Kids Triathlon. Connor was giving me the impression that it might be something he would want to try. And then he kind of was like, what about Cayden? He's like, well, he could do it with me. You know, all these other kids were all like, you know, they had their game faces on, and we're just sitting there like, well, we're finally seeing our boys be together.
Good job, Connor, Cayden.
It was the best day of my life. I got to see both of them do something that I didn't think would ever happen.
I don't really care if me and Cayden come in first place in the future and just finish in the race. Something to be proud of.
Welcome, Connor and Jenny Long. You raised a remarkable young man here. I can't even imagine the pride you must feel watching that piece.
I do. It's amazing. I think about it a lot. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, your son Cayden was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, spastic cerebral palsy, at 2 months old. What did the doctor say to you at that time?
You know, Meredith, they were just, there's no bedside manners.
Yeah.
It's pretty much to the point. They don't give you much hope for a happy, exciting future. It was basically like, this is your son. He's gonna be this. He's gonna need you for everything. He's gonna be with you forever.
He made it sound like it was a burden.
Yes, like it was gonna be just a burden and very hard. And I remember looking at the doctor and asking him, well, you know, I can work with him, I can teach him, if I have to do, you know, just all the time, just repetitive. And I remember him saying, you know, it's kind of like you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
So what would you like to say to that doctor now, 10 years later?
Look at him. I mean, he is a happy human. He loves, he has emotions, and he loves things. I mean, he's a part of this community.
Connor, you know, before you came up with this idea, you didn't have a stronger connection with your brother because you couldn't communicate on the same level. So what's the best part of racing with him now?
The best part of racing would be I get to bond with Cayden and go out and have fun with him, and he gets to enjoy it and have a good time.
You know, Connor, what do you want people to know about your brother they might not know?
I want them to know that Cayden, just because he has cerebral palsy, that he's not like a regular person. Like, he understands everything that we say, and he has feelings just like us. Like, when he gets mad, he cries.
So, Jenny, what do you think the impact this has had on Cayden, this ability to be with his brother and race?
It's made him feel a part of something. Yeah. It's given him a life and given him adventure and happiness. Like, we all want to do things and be a part of something. And for him, he's a part of something. Him and his brother, they're a team. You
wrote a book, a new book called Expect a Miracle, about your life and the bond that your sons have formed. How have these two guys inspired you, your sons?
Well, I've written a book, so they've inspired me a lot.
That in and of itself, yeah.
I mean, it was scary writing the book, just going back to my past, that it wasn't always pretty. There was a lot of dark side for all of us, our whole family, to get to the starting line. So they've inspired me to, given me the platform to be able to help other families, because I want other families maybe going through the similar situation or even something different, that they too can find their miracle.
Well, I think you're both very special people, Jenny and Connor. And